Right, thanks for joining me. I am out nice and early. It's about 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm off to the forest today and I'm going to show you my cooking system, although I've got a few different setups for cooking. The one I'm going to show you today is the one I use when I'm on my own. I think the cooking systems for wild camping are one of those things where you can just end up going through, well, it's been like that for me, through one system after the other, and it's either the bulk or the weight or the method of cooking with it has caused an issue where I've wanted to try something else, and then that's got its own problems as well. So the one I've settled on though is the one that's working for me, and that's why I want to share it with you in case there's something there for you as well. You know, I remember when this tree was still standing a few years ago, and I always wanted to come back to it. And then when I came back, it was like this, it had gone. Look, how nice is this here? And I'm in London, believe it or not. I'm actually in London. And I'm just getting some miles in. I'm trying to do about 5 today, which for me is good. Because I've got this wild camp, as I said, coming up on Monday. I'm going to do 5 miles in and 5 miles out. The thing of it is it's going to be a stealth camp, because the areas that I can get to here at the moment, which will be Hertfordshire, there's like no way you can really camp. I mean, I know it's not tolerated really, well, it's not legal in England, but it's tolerated in places. But this is going to be too near populated areas, so I'm going to have to be a stealth camp, which I'll do, and observe all the leave no trace stuff, so I'm not worried about that. But yeah, I still want to have a good camp, and I don't want to get there too exhausted, so I'm kind of testing my distances. It's quite hilly around here, not in this part exactly right now, but just in general it is, so it gives me a chance to just test out how I'm doing, how I'm feeling. I've got a long way to go on my fitness at the moment, so this is at least a good start point. Right, but right now I want to get into that forest and show you my cooking system. Right, finally made it into the forest, and I'll show you my cooking system now. So I'll just explain this to you a little bit as well. This is my cook system. What I've got is the Soto new river pot. It's a 1 litre pot. And it comes with this little bag, and I'll explain to you why I've done it like this. It's because I like my cooking system when I'm on my own to be an all-in-one unit, which I can boil water in. What I mean by that is that I can just put it out of my bag and just cook with it. I don't have to sort of rummage around for different things. Now the gas stand, I've had to buy this. I'll show you the parts I bought separately. This gas stand I bought on Amazon for next to nothing. It was super cheap. And inside the pot, what I've got is, it's got like this clear plastic lid with a little pull handle on it like this. And inside I use a freezer bag where I've just kind of taken the top of it off, and that's to stop the pot getting scratched on the inside. And it's not titanium, I think it's just anodized aluminium, which I'm happy with. It doesn't really bother me too much. So the stove I've got inside it is the Soto Windmaster, which looks like this. And this stove is brilliant. I mean, I absolutely love this thing. It's really small, it's really light. I love that it fits inside that pot. And you get these different stand bits that go on the top like this. And I use this 4-pronged one all the time because these parts are really grippy, and I really like that about it. So it means that when anything sits on top, it's got a good bit of grip. And the other reason I use this is because if I bring a small frying pan along, I can balance it on this as well really easily. They're designed to do well in the wind. It's actually a little bit breezy today, and boil water really fast. But the other things I put inside my pot are a gas canister. So I'm just using one of the Primus ones. and an additional lighter like this. Now the reason I use these and I don't use the flint and steel, I'm not too bothered about like the bushcraft type of thing, and this actually has a flint and steel. That kind of, forget about the gas that's in there, that is actually a flint and steel in itself, although it might not be the most robust one. But the stove actually has its own ignition here as well. So what I'll do is I'll show you how that works. So I'll just screw that in. And what's nice on the stove as well, it's got this little flat plate here. I don't know if it's designed for that, but it's like a thumb push where you can tighten the stove on as well, which is quite good. And then I take obviously the gas stand part. So that sits on there and it keeps it balanced. So I'll just put some water in, just a little bit, just so I can demonstrate for you. Now the pot itself has got these pull-out handles, which I like. I prefer having the pull-out handles to having like a separate clip-on thing, because I always just feel like that's a fiddly thing to do, especially when your hands are cold. It doesn't appeal to me, like it's not something that I particularly like. You put the lid back on top and I'll show you how it lights. So you can see how the system works, but the thing for me with this system is I really like that it fits into one unit, self-contained, so I can pull it out, just pour some water in, make a brew and it's done. And I like with these is I can actually drink from this if I want to, and having the integrated handle for me is kind of a must-have. I know that there are systems where you can get this sort of clip-on handles. I prefer to have these handles which are integrated like this and then just fold around to the side. And I just think that that's a neater system, a neater way to do it. And I think when you're done, it's easier to pack away and know that all your stuff is together, that it's not going to be separated out into different places. But I can boil water with this and I can cook in it. And one of the things that's interesting with it is that you can actually cook in it. And I'll try to demonstrate that when I go away next time, because you can cook eggs in that. It's large enough, you can fry in it as well. When I was looking for a pot like this, I wanted something that had a relatively large base still, but high walls. So it was like a water boiler, but it could sort of make do for cooking as well. The thing with the cooking is that's really useful is at that size that it's at, if you cook eggs in there, for instance, it will come out in the right shape to go inside a bun, which is really good. It holds the shape together. You know, like you can get those egg cookers, things that go into your frying pan that keep the egg the right shape. It kind of does that. But you can fry bacon in there. And something you could do is you can fry like mushrooms and bacon in the bottom and then crack eggs into it. And you get like a disc that comes out like this and you can stick it inside a bun, which is really great because it holds it all together. It's so cool. And then you can put like a little bit of pepper and salt on top as well if you want to. You can kind of get it all together like that. And it comes out in that sort of shape. But you can even, like if you want to make a burger, you can fit a burger into that. Not always, you have to check, like you have to look on certain brands whether certain things are going to fit or not. But you can actually cook quite a few different things. You could make beans in there and so on. And you could even do like mashed potatoes and all that kind of stuff that you might want to cook. You can do ramen noodles in there or different types of pasta noodle things. It's big enough that you can kind of get those things together and make them. Even if in certain instances you might have to do one thing after the other, it can fulfill the role that a frying pan has, just about do it. If you think about not having to pack a frying pan and then have that as an all-in-one unit, it's great. And in order to clean it, the best thing that I find to do is that if you cook in it like that, then just pour some water in and boil that, and all of the bits just pop off and the oil kind of disintegrates. And if you just tip that bit of water out, you can then go in with like a bit of kitchen towel and just wipe it up. But that boiling a little bit of water in the bottom before everything kind of sets and goes cold, once you've made your food, just boil some in and then chuck the water out and then wipe it, and everything just comes away, which is, to me, that's the best way to do it, because it means that you cleaned everything up nicely and it's just ready to go again. So it's like a really diverse cooking system. I really like it like that. So before this, I was using the Sea to Summit kettle pot, which is really good, but it's not an all-in. You can't fit everything into it. It compresses down flat, and I'm keeping that, and I will still use that. But I really think that that works better when you definitely want to take something like a frying pan, because you can take the Sea to Summit kettle and stick it into the frying pan or into one of the bigger Sea to Summit pots or something like that. It's better when you're taking more of a bigger cooking system and you just want that as a water boiler. You can cook food in it, but cleaning it's a mess and a nightmare. And I've done it and I don't like doing that with it very much. And so this is why I've moved on to this system, because I realised I wanted something with vertical walls, not something that was like this shape. And I wanted something that was, so it's easy to clean, so I can see all of the sides of it easily. And then I can put the gas and the stand and everything together into one unit like that. I thought it was really good. But this system is a little bit expensive. But I'm going to use it so much that it's worth the investment, I think. And the same thing with the Soto Windmaster. It boils water so quickly. It's like maybe not quite as fast as a jet boil, but the fact that I can then use it to fry, if I want to take a frying pan, I can use it with other like cooking setups. It's multi-use like that. It's also like slightly, I think this is like wider mouthed as well, so it's easier to, you can actually cook stuff in it. You can lift the pot off and just hover it over the flame if you want to have a less intense heat. It's better like that, because if you can get the pot away from the flame, you can reduce the temperature of it, so you don't just burn everything that's in there. You can cook it at a slower speed. Anyway, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye bye.